Hello everybody, and welcome to the top 10 most hated bosses in the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. It should be noted that you may not agree with who is on this list. I posted a while back on Reddit and got a ton of responses for who the worst boss in the game is, and it took me a little bit of time to get this video out here, so this is a compilation of those and some own personal opinions. With that, let's hop right in. First, we have some honorable mentions. Champion Megamaw and the Spinning Brimstone duo of Krampus and the Forsaken. These enemies get some honor on the list due to the absolute BS attacks that can be completely unavoidable by them. First, Megamaw has the spraying bullets found in those boss trap rooms. You know you found them in there. And then Krampus, as well as the Forsaken and Afterbirth, have that spinning brimstone attack that if they are at the top of the room, it can literally be unavoidable. So these guys get an honorable mention mainly because regular Megamaw isn't too bad. The Forsaken with some high damage really is not that bad. And Krampus in Rebirth was kind of a cakewalk, and it's really just that one attack that can really get you. Next, we have some deplorable mentions. Yes, deplorable is actually the opposite of honorable. You learn something new every day. These little screwbags made me move my text to the bottom of the screen because most of them are hanging from the top. Mama Gertie's blind attacks without flight are just an absolute pain. The spikes coming out of the ground and then random bullets flying out of her head. Daddy Longlegs' random stomps can ruin your day. And then the Mask of Infamy is, well, just a larger version of an enemy that was in the top 5 most hated enemies. So it's really easy to hate him. With that, let's move on to the top 10. Coming in at number 10 on our list is Ultra Greed himself, the final boss of the new Afterbirth game mode, Green Mode. Occurring on the final room of the mode, Ultra Greed has the scaling armor similar to another good friend on this list. Yeah, we see you. And then he's just a pain. He has exploding coins. He has ways to regenerate health. He is just horrible to deal with. And even with an incredibly high damage run that you can get in Green Mode, this guy can still beat you because of the scaling armor that he has. So he definitely deserves the spot on the list coming in at 10. Coming in at number 9, one of my honestly least favorite bosses in the game, just because I always manage to take damage on him because of one attack. This is the Adversary, and that one attack is that Brimstone attack that kind of curves, follows you. It will get you every single time if you're not watching its every moves. And these guys just seem to appear multiple times on each run, whether it be in the chest or in a boss room in the depths. This guy will always do some good damage to you. Another one of my least favorite bosses, this is a new guy to Afterbirth, Brownie. And the first time I fought this guy, I was like, oh, okay, it's a little worse version of Dingle. It's not too bad, it's not going to do too much to me. I'm pretty sure I've gotten hit by the guy every single time since. It's bullet hell, he tosses them everywhere, and then he spawns a bunch of little poops that just go after you. The guy is no fun to deal with. He appears many times because you'll get him once or twice in the chest as well. If you have high damage, he's no problem, but if you have low damage, he will hit you. That is a guarantee. Coming in at number 7, somebody who I think we all have a little bit of disdain for, new to Afterbirth, Ragman. Somebody that appears on pretty much every first floor that you ever do at this point, and can occur in a lot of other places as well, whether it be a small room, in the error room, or just on the chest/dark room. Ragman spawns a bunch of enemies along with him. He has a really BS teleporting homing shot that just fires out of his head at an alarming rate and is really hard to dodge. And Ragman he has a lot of HP to be a first floor boss. He's incredibly difficult to deal with. So he had to come in at 7 on the list. Coming in at 6 is another Afterbirth enemy. Are you sensing a trend here? This is the Stain. Basically an upgraded version of Polycephalus. This bullet hell enemy is just a pain to deal with in the fact that he goes up and down. You can never really get a ton of damage in at once on him, and the bullet hell almost always makes you take a little bit of damage. Everybody also knows this guy as the enemy that spawns usually on the last deal with the devil phase of green mode, where it spawns 2 of them and then a bunch of the little tentacles all around, and it'll just swarm you and you don't really have a lot of space to move, and these guys will attack. So I think the entire community hates Sustain enough that he comes in at number 6 on our list. Coming in at 5 is a real nice and classic Rebirth enemy, the Cage. The Cage has always been kind of one of those most hated enemies due to the random spike attack, the Gertie Jr.-esque movements around the room, but Afterbirth really upped his hatred even more by adding champion versions of him and putting, 4 of those champion versions into one room and telling you to fight them. I don't think anybody really likes the Cage. I don't think there's a whole lot to say about him besides can we put him in a cage, because this guy is just a pain. Coming in at 4, and I think a lot of people are going to disagree about this one, I have SCOLEX. Is he hard? Not really. Can you fight him and not take damage? Probably. The thing that makes SCOLEX a complete pain is the fact that he pretty much takes 48 years to fight. And ever since Afterbirth came out, you get him more often in the womb than you did in Rebirth, at least I do. And he is just the up and down, and here, let me show you my head, but nope, let's not show you my tail, because, you can actually beat me if you show me your tail. And then as soon as you know it, you missed the Hush fight, you missed Boss Rush, you missed your 9-year-old niece's wedding, not wedding, but birthday party, something like that. And the SCOLEX is just horrible. Stain's horrible too, but SCOLEX is even worse. So coming in at 4 is SCOLEX. Coming in at 3, yeah, here you are, you get your moment to shine. You seem to appear in a lot of our stuff. We have the Hush. And a lot of people hate the Hush for a multitude of reasons. One, it also, similar to SCOLEX, takes around 78 years to finish. And 2, the damage armor scaling on the Hush just makes it where if you have an incredibly overpowered run, it's still pretty difficult to beat this guy quickly and without taking damage. Finishing the Lost and Keeper post-it for the Hush is an absolute pain. It's difficult, and it should be difficult, but not this difficult. The Hush is just a pain to deal with, and hopefully Edmund and Tyrone do something to fix the Hush's fight in the next update. Wink wink, Afterbirth Plus, wink wink, Final Floor, wink wink. Coming in at 2 is everybody's, second least favorite enemy according to this list, the Haunt. And the Haunt is one of those things that you get on the cellar on the first floor and you just sit and pray, hey, give me blue famine, give me blue famine, give me blue famine. You didn't give me a good item in my item room. I could go for a nice blue famine fight. You walk in, oh, you have the Haunt fight. And then 2 of the ghosts hit you. You're down to 1 heart left. Maybe you had the Haunt on the second floor. That now kills your deal with the Devil Chance. This guy he's a horrible boss to deal with on the first or second floor. Later in the game, super easy. But he'll, once you finish up his little cronies, now he's flying across the top of the screen, firing a brimstone laser, firing out shots at you. Honestly, this is one of those enemies where the champion version is easier, but the Haunt is just a bad enemy to deal with, let me tell you. Finally, coming in at number 1 on our Binding of Isaac top 10 most hated bosses in Afterbirth, the guy that has an entire subreddit devoted to hating him, the Bloat. I think everybody in the community can agree that the Bloat is the most hated boss in the game. Just the fact that you can't really ever avoid the stupid peeper eyes coming out of him, or the brimstone attack that, goes off if you're next to him or below him and will always hit you. The Bloat is just a sucky enemy, and I think that's all I'm gonna put for it. It's just a sucky enemy. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below or wherever you see this video giving me an idea for another top 10 video. I think I'm gonna try to do top 10 trinkets next, although that will be slightly difficult. But please give me some feedback, let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.